What is up, YouTube? My hair's a mess and so is this garage, but today we're gonna be changing the front pads on our Fury. Cue the intro. That is right, YouTube. That is right. We are going to change the front pads on our Fury. If you've never done it before, if you need brakes done, follow me. We'll do this together. What we're going to need is a Fury, number one, and the brake pads. The brake pads are going to be FA196. I don't have them with me today because I don't need front brakes, but I'm going to show you how to do it. As I'm working through the Fury build, I'm doing upgrades to the bike that I like to have done or see fit as I need them. But however, I've had a few questions on how to do your front pads, so today's video we're going to do just that. As an example, I just like to prove to everybody you don't need to be a master mechanic to work on your motorcycle. I always use basic tools. I like working with my hands. All right, I'm not a business. I'm not using power tools. I don't need to be cranking out bikes. I have fun taking the time and working on the bikes and learning and all that aspect. So I'm not going to use the bike stand today. I'm just going to have her sitting the way you sit, the way yours is, that you can do it without a bike stand. What we're going to need first is to take off the caliper, right? Because we need to get to the pads. Right off the bat, you're gonna need a socket, and these here two bolts are 12 millimeters. Okay, try to get my fat ass in the shot here. Can you see? A little dirty. All right, socket, righty tight, lefty loose. All right. Oi, oi, oi. Round and around we go. Round and around we go, round and around we go. Ooh, it's got some high temp thread lock. The screws are out. Carefully now, you can pull this right off. Two 12 millimeter screws. The whole caliper comes out, but we have the cups in there. We gotta move the pads that you're gonna put on. I've got a little extra meat on them because they're new. Grab your flathead, twist. I just wanna in and turn, and it should push the cylinder open. A little bit there, go on the bottom. Go back to the top, okay. Back to the bottom. Who cares if they're getting mangled, right? Because you're changing them. So you just get it in there and wiggle it out so the cup goes in, because what happens is once the new pads get put on, you have to make the space for them to go over the rotor itself. Now that you have those pushed in, what you're gonna do next is with the flathead, just like the back of the Fury, this screw right here is what's holding on the pin for the two pads. Go ahead here, crack this open. It shouldn't be torqued down crazy hard. It might be from factory, but the cap comes off. Carefully let that down. And now inside you have a number 5 H5 Allen, or an Allen key, 5 millimeters. So let me go get that now. Okay. 5 millimeter Allen. Pop that off. Put this on, righty tight, lefty loose. In the hole. There you go. Little muscle on that, but once you get it, you got it. Put it back down. I'm just gonna unplug it here. Use it by hand, all the way out. Get the first pin out. The shoe comes out. Pull the pin all the way out. It slides out, but I twist it to help get it out. And here you go. Pads are out. Very simple. That's half the battle. The back of the pad should have a plate. They're stock from Honda. Reuse them. This side didn't have one, but this side does. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna just simply take off. I say simply, but it's gonna be on there. So, whoop, here we go. This is the metal guard to protect the pad itself. This it's like a little pad. It helps in cooling, keeping it so it's not so hot and that you don't melt your pieces together under high braking. Nobody's going that fast anyways to be hammering on their brakes to be, you know, at a melting point. But what you do is you'd open up your new pads, take the new pad, little heat shield on there, little dust cover on the new pads, lock it in, or snap it in rather. There you go, okay? Got about this much left of pad left. So these pads are good. But again, hey, they're so cheap, might as well change them just to change them. If just, you never know if you're in question, but I got plenty of meat still left on these, so I'm gonna keep them. But for your sake, now it's a reverse order. Pretend I open out the package, take your caliper, keep the metal slide on there, okay? They both have little metal brackets. If you buy a brake kit, sometimes they come with them. Sometimes they don't. You're better off staying with OEM, the stock number. You can get these online, Rocky Mountain. I can put a part number on the link down below if I can find them, so you have the real true OEM Honda number to replace these, but they just help the brakes slide back and forth. Better off keeping OEM than changing. Your pin is here and your rotor's curved. So if you forget which pad goes which way, if the rotor's curved, your pad's curved, like this. And since the caliper goes on like so, I know that this is gonna be on the inside of the brake cups. But I can also tell because of the two little holes on there, okay? There you go. Then you take your second pad with the metal shield, flip it on like so. These little shoe parts gotta match inside the slider bay here. They kind of lock in. You'll know you're in trouble if the pads don't go on. Slide it in, slide. I said slide. Where are you? Here you are. Boom. Good, that's one. Again, the shoe goes in the bracket. Slide. Like that. Just like this. Now what you're gonna do is take your pin, put your pin back, push it through the first hole, push it through the second hole. You can use your finger a little bit to help spin it. You don't want to cross thread these, so take your time. Just go through. Here you go. Looks like they're on there. Take my 5mm, screw it back in like this, just like that. So bottom's out, can't go anymore. You could do it by hand. You're fine. There you go. Give it a little tug. Don't have to be crazy tight. Do not wrench it on. It ain't going anywhere. It's just a pin to hold the pads. Now, you'll take your cap cover and you put it over the top with your flathead, screw it back in like this, okay? Secure. Now what you can do too is you have a little thread lock, lock thread, just so it doesn't go anywhere. You can certainly do that. Matter of fact, I'll do that right now. I'll be right back. Blue Loctite is temporary. Red Loctite is permanent or for high heat applications. Now, it's just a little holder so the pin don't come out. Again, the whole thing is threaded, so you could use blue. It's fine. It's not gonna melt away. This didn't have it on there, but if you're a little concerned, you take blue, 1 dot. That's all you need. A dot, a dip, a dollop of blue. That way, it ain't gonna move out on you, but you can take it off. Carefully, don't cross thread, take your time. Lock it in. See the blue come through? Give it a wipe. Look clean. Okay, now with the pad in that we pushed earlier and the pad separated, all you're gonna do, fit between the rotor and hold up right where you were before. You can add another dot of thread Loctite. I'm not going to. There's thread Loctite already on there. It's enough grit to get through, but if you have it, might as well use it, right? Don't hurt none. Again, use a small amount. You don't want it, it ain't gonna go nowhere, but if you gotta work on it, for Christ's sake, you wanna make sure you're able to take it off. So don't put it all over the place. Simple. Screw this in the best you can. Until you gotta get a ratchet on there. Yeah. And the backs. Oh, uh-oh. Okay. Whew. I want to make sure I wasn't getting cross-threaded or nothing. It's getting tight. No, it's fine. Okay. You're feeling a slight resistance just because of the stock thread lock that's on there. You don't want that that moment when righty-tighty becomes righty-loosey, then you're screwed, my friend. You're gonna have to replace the whole bracket. Yeah. Snug is good, but if you're like me and you want the correct torque spec, because that's the spec that Honda wanted you to spec on there, that's gonna be 23 foot-pounds of torque. The torque on the little silver pin that you put the little cap over is gonna be 13 foot-pounds, but the two chrome mounting bolts that put the bracket onto the bike, that's 23 foot-pounds of torque. If I can find my torque wrench, here it is. 23. Now, 13 pounds is pretty light for that pin. 13 pounds you can certainly do by hand. That's not an issue. But 23 pounds, if you want to be safe than sorry, get yourself a torque wrench. I'll put a link in the description below of a good one, a generic one that you could use. You can get through Amazon. This is from the Chinese Home Depot, Harbor Freight. 23, so it's 20, 21, 2, 23. I'll lock her down. Get your torques. All right. That's the bottom. That's the top. Go back to the bottom. Okay, go back to the top. Okay. Are you done? You could be. Unless when you go down the side of a freaking mountain, you gotta hit your brakes, gotta pump it up. Cause they're gonna be super loose until you pump, get the fluid back behind the cup, take the cup to push against the cylinder. That's good, perfect. Now you're good, now you're done. That's it, you did it. Never did it before, now you know how to do it. Quick review, 12 millimeter bolt, pop out, come out, woohoo! Flathead screwdriver, in, push back that cup, 10, 5 millimeter Allen key. Take out the cap, take out the pin, pads out, new pads in, replace the pad, metal bit, make sure the brackets are intact, put it in, bam, put the pin back in, put on your cap, back on, torque, and you're it. You're done. That's it. Pump your brakes, you're on, all right? I hope that helps you out. I hope you enjoyed. Have yourself a happy New Year's, and as always, peace!